Hey guys, I'm Matt and welcome to Jump into Jump. This is my weekly series where I take a look at some Weekly Shonen Jump manga that I'm currently caught up on. Basically just go over what happened and which chapters were my favorite this week. This is issue number 52 of 2020 and good old Jujutsu Kaisen made the cover this week. There were 4 color pages this week from Ayakashi Triangle, Magu-chan God of Destruction, Sakamoto Days, and Jujutsu Kaisen. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into these chapters because there's some really good ones this week. To start, let's take a look at My Hero Academia chapter 292 because it was on break last week. So this chapter opens up on Best Jeanist making his appearance, kind of a recap of him airdropping in to save the day. Everyone thought he was dead, so they're all surprised to see him, and he's got Gigantomachia wrapped up in his gene fibers. For whatever reason, in this chapter, they kept showing that spinner guy, the weird turtle dude. I don't even know what he does. Here, I want to look it up. The fuck is his quirk? Oh, he's a gecko. Alright. Anyways, they keep showing this guy, so I don't know if he's gonna do something, but Dabi immediately just roasts Hado, and then Shigaraki starts giving Gigantomachia orders to go off the rails again. A bunch of Nomu just start coming out of nowhere, and Best Jeanist seems like he's starting to have a hard time controlling Machia. Meanwhile, Shoto and Dabi are having a conversation, and it's clear to see that Dabi has no remorse for any of his actions. And this motherfucker really just wants to kill his family, I guess. Deku's all busted up, and he doesn't know what to do because his quirks aren't working, and out of nowhere comes Mirio with the power! Lemillion's back, I guess. He's got his quirk back too. But yeah, anyways, that's how that chapter ends. Really good one. Very worth the 2-week wait. This is probably a pretty common opinion, but Mirio is one of my favorite characters in My Hero. I'm sure it's the same for most of you, so it's great to see him back. Fantastic chapter, and with that, we're gonna move on to fucking something else. Jujutsu Kaisen. This is chapter 131 of Jujutsu Kaisen, and it opens up on the color page I previously mentioned. It's a really cool spread of Mahito's new form, and it's all purple. It just looks awesome. And honestly, not a whole lot of plot happens in this chapter. It's mostly just Mahito and Itadori fighting. Probably the most important bit of dialogue in the whole chapter is Mahito saying that when he kills Itadori, he will finally truly be born. As if this new power-up isn't crazy enough, maybe we'll see something else. Itadori's died once in this show, I wouldn't be surprised if they did it again. The only way he's gonna beat Mahito in this state is if he uses a black flash at basically its full potential. But he can't use it at will, so he's gotta figure out how to draw it out. But that's it for that chapter. It was mostly just a lot of action scenes, so there's not a whole lot to talk about. But there's some seriously awesome action panels in this chapter. You can really feel the impact and the speed of every hit. It ends on this panel of Itadori and Mahito just staring each other down, even though Mahito doesn't have any eyes anymore. Next up, we got Chainsaw Man. This is chapter 95 of Chainsaw Man. So as Makima is giving Denji all that blood after she beat his ass, all these Japanese businessmen just appear behind her. Denji just immediately cuts Makima's head off. And obviously the reason she has all those people with her is because if you kill her, the damage is transferred to a random Japanese citizen instead. You can't kill Makima, so they're all at her disposal. And after he cuts her head off, they just start brawling. I never would have guessed that Makima would be this strong in a hand-to-hand situation, but they're just going back and forth and cutting each other's limbs off, tearing each other in half. It's honestly pretty insane to see. Here's a cool drinking game for you. Take a shot every time my glasses fall down on my face or down on my nose. But in the end, Makima comes out victorious, and she starts ripping out Denji's heart that kind of looks like Pochita. Honestly, kind of disgusting. And Makima seems pretty upset that Denji won't just give up on, fuck. He's not giving up on fuck. That he won't just give up on the world and let her do what she wants to do, which I don't know what the fuck that is. She's got some kind of plan and Denji's getting in her way. She starts talking about how Denji is basically the opposite of the real Chainsaw Man, but for some reason or another, Denji was chosen by Chainsaw Man. He spits some blood on her face and then she finally finishes the job and rips his heart out. But the chapter ends there, so we don't even know if Denji's actually dead or not. I assume he's gonna get back up, but maybe he's not. Maybe this is how we're gonna get to hell and he's gonna find the blood demon finally. So hopefully next chapter we get to see some hell action from Chainsaw Man. And yeah, that's it for that chapter of Chainsaw Man. A lot of action, just like Jujutsu Kaisen this week, so not a whole lot of dialogue to go over, just a lot of really brutal action scenes. But next we're gonna get into Black Clover, and this is chapter 273. My ball's facing the wrong way, oh no. This chapter opens up on a new character, which is a scientist from the Spade Kingdom, and it looks like he's helping to patch up one of the Spade Kingdom guys. I can't think of his name right now, let me look it up. Dante. And we learn that this scientist is actually from the Diamond Kingdom, where Mars is from, and Mars actually got him kicked out of the Diamond Kingdom, so I wonder what happened there. But as I said earlier, this guy's helping fix up Dante, who got fucking bodied by Yami a few chapters ago. But he's just itching to fight Asta again, so I'm sure we're gonna get to see that confrontation soon enough. And then we get a cool shot of this demon trapped in ice. Kinda looks like Oars from One Piece, or Oars Jr. And then we get whatever this is. Tree magic? I don't know. Doesn't look like a place I want to be. Meanwhile, back in the training session with Asta and Nock, we get to see a cool little glimpse of the Devil Union form. We don't get to see the full thing. Yuki Tabata is just teasing us at this point. But it seems like Asta's getting some pretty scary anti-magic power with this. He uses what looks like Yami's Dark Slash, or whatever the fuck it's called, and it actually renders Nock's magic completely useless even though it didn't even touch him. So even just being near it is bad for a magic user. Nock decides he's not trying to get hurt by that anti-magic, so he's gonna go meet up with the other guys and head towards the Spade Kingdom guys, the Dark Triad. But he is gonna leave his demon with Asta to help him train his Devil Union form to perfection before he can join them. And this chapter ends on a really cool spread of the alliance that the Clover Kingdom's got going on, getting ready to go fight the Dark Triad. But that's all for Black Clover, and now finally we're going to be moving on to One Piece. And this is chapter 997 of One Piece. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to be getting chapter 1000 this year, as Oda's taking a break next week, but we'll be able to start the new year off with a chapter 1000, so I think that's still pretty hype. So this chapter picks up with Sanji going to explore whatever he was hearing in his head last week. It seems like a girl's getting sexually assaulted, so you know Sanji's gonna put an end to that right away. But he fell right into their trap, literally getting caught in the spider's web. Oh no! Whoops. Yep, turns out Black Maria was behind the whole thing, and Sanji is now in her trap. Moving on from that, we get to see the Gorilla Smile Fruit user, as well as the Rattlesnake Smile Fruit user. And the Gorilla Fruit is definitely one of the most absurd things I've seen in One Piece. Like, the girl is in the monkey. The girl is in the gorilla. How do you come up with this? But Luffy and Jinbei are heading straight towards those guys, and I'm sure they're going to make quick work of them. Back on the performance floor, we've got Chopper, Zoro, and Drake chasing down Apu for the antibody, and Zoro finally gets to get his revenge and cut him down in one of the coolest panels in the whole arc so far. But they get the antidote, and Chopper is actually able to figure out the composition of it and make more for everyone else. Chopper figures out that the virus spreads by freezing the body, so all you gotta do is set somebody on fire to get rid of it, I guess. Sounds fun. And of course, because Chopper's a doctor, he's gonna save everybody, it doesn't matter who. All of a sudden an earthquake starts and everyone thinks Zoro's using Conqueror's Haki. But no, it's not that. We'll get to that later. Marco shows up and starts offering the Straw Hats his assistance, which is pretty awesome to see. Maybe we'll get to see some more ex-Whitebeard pirates show up soon and they'll all offer Luffy their help, just making his pirate alliance bigger and bigger and bigger every chapter. The earthquake starts getting worse, and the only one who can offer any explanation for it is Yamato, who explains that dragons actually move through the air by creating flame clouds, which means that Kaido is literally lifting Onigashima out of the fucking ground. It seems like the plan is to move Onigashima to the flower capital and just create a stronghold for all of the pirates. And Kaido ends the chapter by saying, "Let us begin this world of violence." So yeah, as if Oda already didn't raise the stakes in Wano enough, now the whole fucking island's in the sky and moving towards more people. But that's the end for that one, and now we're going to have to get into the ranking for all the chapters this week. And remember, just because I ranked something last doesn't mean I didn't love it. I thought all the chapters were amazing this week, so let's just get into this. Number 5, I'm going to go ahead and give to Jujutsu Kaisen this week. Not a whole lot happened, it was just like more like really good action, but not much to move the plot. I really love that color spread we got at the beginning, and all the action panels were just fantastic. Number 4 is going to go to Chainsaw Man. Much like Jujutsu Kaisen, it was just mostly action. Really good action, but not a whole lot to move the plot. I'm sure next week we're going to get to see whatever the hell happened to Denji, and that's going to be pretty hype. But yeah, tons of great brutal action this week. Number 3 is going to be Black Clover. Seems like we're setting up for something pretty big with this one. Seeing even a glimpse of Asta's Devil Union was really cool, and getting a look into the Spade Kingdom guys again was awesome. I can't wait to see more Dante versus Asta, and I want to know whatever the hell that demon was in the ice. And I'm sure we're going to get to see it soon because everyone's geared up and on their way to them, so we'll see. And number 2 is My Hero Academia. Honestly, this could have gotten this spot just from Mirio showing up again alone because I love Mirio, but this was actually just a very good chapter. The paneling was amazing like it always is in My Hero Academia. I seriously don't know how he gets his manga to look so good on a weekly basis. I know he uses a lot of editors and assistants, but even then, it's just still impressive. There's a really cool page where Dabi's like burning up the panels, and honestly, just a really good chapter overall. And finally, number 1, we're gonna have One Piece. It feels like every new chapter of One Piece is almost like a teaser of what's to come. Like the stakes are just ramping up and up and up and up and up forever, basically. And now I feel like it's finally gonna come to a head as soon as this island touches down with the flower capital. I just can't wait to see what happens next. I just fucking love One Piece. What can I say? But yeah, that's it for this week. What did you think of this issue of Shonen Jump? What was your favorite chapters? I'd love to hear in the comments below. And if you want me to pick up any new series from Shonen Jump, be sure to leave it down there as well. I really hope you're enjoying these videos, the few people that are watching. My goal here is basically to create a slightly shorter content where I go over multiple chapters, whereas other channels seem to focus on one chapter and say as much as they can about it. I don't think I'm nearly as good with words as those guys are, so I just want to give my general impressions on all these chapters that I read every week anyways. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and if you have any feedback or suggestions for future videos, leave them in the comments below. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you liked it, and have a good rest of your day. See ya.